Oh, it's been said a bard's life can often be a hard life, or hill and dale to rove and always move from town to town. And some folk have inquired if ever we grow tired of ranging all around the world and never settling down.
But one should be a little wary of remaining stationary, 'cause comfortable is lovely, but it's not the way we grow. When life starts to unravel, pick up your pack and travel. You'll find a strange serenity in places you don't know. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-rat-terry-o-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. You've got no map for showing which direction you are going.
But why start on a journey if you know where it will end?
And once you recognize,
to anticipate surprise, you'll relish every twist and turn that lies around the bend. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-rat-terry-o-dee-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. The world has got its demons. There are many reasons why you'd find it harder to be brave than be afraid. But every life could use some danger. Every friend was once a stranger. Ships are safe in harbor, but that's not why ships are made.
Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-rat-terry-o-dee-da-dee. A fwit-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Ya-da-da-da-da-lie-da-lie. Adventures waiting further down the road. Let's go! Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Ya-da-da-da-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-da-da-lie-da-lie.
Greetings, friends, and welcome back to another episode of Gothic Horror Gaming here on Nat 21 Adventures. I'm the Gloom Master, your host, and tonight we are partaking in a bit of a horror game. So as a fair bit of warning to everyone out there, this is a horror game, so there are elements of violence, graphic descriptions thereof, violence against minors, both spellings, O and E. Also, things of common phobias, that sort of thing. So if that's not really your cup of tea, we understand. You can mosey on along and check out regular Nat 21 Adventures into the Feywild on Tuesday nights. That might be a little more up your alley. But if you want some more of the gruesome, the horrible, this is the place for you. I'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors. We're going to start off with our perpetual, perennial sponsors, Ren Adventures. RenAdventures.com. They are, in fact, putting on a tour in New Orleans, December 5th through the 9th. Go on down there. You'll tour through all the cemeteries and all that sort of thing during the day, and then play Dungeons and Dragons 5e with a lot of the folks here at Nat 21 Adventures, live and in person. And it culminates in a visit to the Louisiana Renaissance Fair that weekend, of which many of the people that are going to be doing the dungeon mastering for the 5e games are all performing there, yours truly included. I also like to thank our good friends at 3D2U. They have friends of ours. They do 3D printed and also wood burned various gaming supplement devices. For instance, dice towers and dice trays, journals, that sort of thing. And Amy from 3D2U is actually about to get her degree, I believe, in forensics. So she's going to be on next Wednesday to enlighten our horror game about the real facts of forensic science. So be sure, a master's no less. So be sure to come on by next Wednesday and check that out as well. And I would be remiss if I did not plug myself and my beautiful bride, Handler Z. She is an author in and of her own right, Melissa Lee. She has written a book, a collection of short fiction and poetry, which I have narrated, which is available on Audible or as a print copy on Amazon or also as a Kindle version. And then you can join us on Patreon, which is where all these came from. All of our Patreon subscribers at Quill and Quote get these stories as they get written and as I narrate them, and then they get condensed together. And if you want to contribute that, it will be useful for our future spawn. As the prophecies have foretold, we will be bringing a new little life into the world on September 28th. So be sure to check that out. Now then, a little bit about the game itself tonight. It is set in what is called the Chill universe. So Chill is a role-playing game from Mayfair Games originally, and then changed hands several times. It's still in existence. And it is the world is as we know it, but behind the scenes there is the supernatural, which they call the unknown. And the unknown is usually very powerful and almost always very evil. Most people do not know about it, and both the unknown and the people who do know about it want to keep it that way to prevent panic. So that is the world we are using, but the game system we are using is called On the Edge, and Over the Edge. I'm sorry. On the Edge was the card game version of it. But Over the Edge, it's a very, very, very simple game system, very simple game mechanic. All your characters will have a trait, 3 different traits, a primary trait, and 2 side traits. And whenever you want to do something, you see if it falls under one of your traits. And traits can be virtually anything when you create your character. For instance, let's say we have a cowboy. His primary trait is he's a cowboy. His side traits might be that he is very religious. So that's a side trait. And then another side trait might be that he's an excellent cook. Now, anytime he tries to do something in the game that would be opposed or has some degree of success or failure, he would see if it falls underneath one of his traits. For instance, as a cowboy, if he's attempting to jump his horse over a fence, that would be under his primary trait. And he would get to roll 4d6, 4 6-sided die, and attempt to hit a target number in order to succeed. But now let us say that he is attempting to recall a particular Bible passage for whatever reason. As that is his side trait, he would roll 3d6 and add them together and attempt to hit a target number. Now let us say he's trying to do something that has nothing to do with any of that. Perhaps let us say he is attempting to fix a steam locomotive. He has no knowledge of that, so he would roll 2d6 in an attempt to hit a target number. Now, you at home can you at home can go ahead and make your presence known and affect the outcome of the game by spending your Twitch points with our moderator, Sir David Percival, over there in the comments. You can spend your Twitch points and give helps. You can decide, you tell us which person you want to help, the players or myself. Whenever you do that, he keeps track of all of the helps that have accumulated. And before any player or myself makes a die roll, they can announce to use one or more of their helps. When they do so, they get to roll additional dice and pick the highest. Let us go back to our cowboy friend. He's attempted to jump his horse over a fence. Normally that would be a 4d6, but let us say that he really needs to make it over there because on the other side is a burning building that he needs to get into. So he decides to spend one of his helps to make sure his horse makes it over the fence. So instead, he would roll 5d6, but he would only take the highest 4 and add them together. So it is not a cumulative bonus, but it helps bump up the numbers, more chances of getting 6s and 5s and that sort of thing. So there you are. That is basically the rule system. Now, where are we in our game tonight? Our players have been traveling across the country on the Transcontinental Railroad, only completed these past 2 years. The year is 1871. They're on their way, for their various and sundry reasons, to San Francisco. They started out in Council Bluffs, Iowa, and are making their way across the country when they got snowed in the Sierra Nevada mountains. Their train is stuck. They're not particularly concerned initially because there's plenty of food, and a rescue train will be sent out from San Francisco when they do not arrive at the station with a plow on it to help plow them clear so they can continue on their journey down the other side of the Continental Divide. However, that first night of them being snowed in, one of the other passengers was found horribly, horribly torn to shreds, dismembered, parts of him obviously chewed upon. This then led to the second night where 3 people were abducted out of a train car, and likewise horrible things. In fact, one of the persons was managed to be recovered, what was left of her. Another was managed to be saved, even though he was being bitten in the neck by some strange gaunt humanoid figure. And another person, only the head was recovered. So, knowing that there is danger, they barricade themselves in to the train, and that very next night, sure enough, these things are back. But I would like to take a moment to meet the players again. They are in mid-action, but let's just get a brief description of who they are, just so that everyone is familiar with who they are, and then we will go into what they are doing after that. So let us start with Ada Monahan. Ada, if you would just, you are definitely not a ninja, but if you would please just give us a brief synopsis of who you are and what you are about.
Look, I am not a perfect person, okay? I came on this train with a very specific purpose in mind, and that was to lure a rich husband into marrying me in California. Did I pretend to be from the South? Yes, I did. Am I actually from New York? Yes, I am. I will be damned if I left the Lower East Side to die here, okay?
Interesting. And we also have with us Mr. Henry Alverton. Reverend.
Hello, friends. I am a former U.S. Army chaplain. I served during the Civil War, and I saw a lot of terrible things that shook my faith. It shook me to my core. I thought I would go out west to start a new life, and I find myself caught in horror again. And I just want to do my part to help everyone survive.
Very well. Speaking of surviving, Jackson Weatherwax.
I knew this trip was a mistake. I should never have boarded this train. I should have sold the property remotely, collected it, and lived the rest of my what I could have only imagined boring days as I aged in quiet peace, perhaps building something locally. It matters not. This journey is doomed, and I'm surrounded by hellish creatures, and there's the lot of it.
Indeed, indeed. And finally, we have Roland Hussey.
We are all gonna die. Oh, hi everybody. I'm a former lawman in Missouri, former naval corpsman in the Confederate Navy. Please don't hold that against me. I just want to go and open a mercantile in San Francisco. But no, we are here and we are going to die. That is what is going to happen. That's right.
Well, that is certainly a possibility.
Oh, it's a definite.
let me refresh everyone's memory as to what is going on. They were our players were taking turns. Our heroes taking turns on watch with some of the train staff overnight on top of the train cars. Everybody had been condensed into the front couple of cars, and sure enough, in the early morning hours, there was a commotion at the far end of the train. These creatures, these ghouls, these ghastly, emaciated, the humanoid figures, which you can only imagine. They're dressed in old clothes. You've put the two and two together. The Donner Party was right in this very area. Truckee Lake is just over you're feeling the breeze of Truckee Lake off of the mountainside. That is Donner Lake now. You assume that these are the revenants or some sort of those individuals, and they're hungering for human flesh. They have killed and they before and are coming for you now. Just to give a recap of where everyone is, on the fourth car of the line of the train, Jackson Weatherwax has just emerged onto the roof. Looking back behind him to the east is car number 5, atop of which is Ada and Roland Hussey. And on the ground around them are 3 of these ghastly creatures still mobile and 1 incapacitated on the ground. On car, the next car going to the east, car number 6, there are 4 ghastly ghouls inside of that, but luckily no passengers. Everybody is forward of that. There are 4 ghouls inside of that, and their attention is split focused, both at car number 5 and also backwards at car number 7, atop which is Henry Alverton. Oh, I'm sorry. No, you climbed down in. That is
I'm
correct.
inside.
You are inside. When we last left, Jackson Weatherwax was taking careful aim, but it is now Ada's turn. Ada, you are on top of car number 5, full of passengers who are trying to defend themselves. There are several passengers that do have firearms and are shooting out of the car, it would seem. But there are 3 ghouls down below you. You have an axe in your hand.
I do. Where exactly is the ghoul in relation to me?
They are down at the base of the ladder. They've all been hit and fallen back down, but they are down on the ground at the base of the ladder that goes up the side of the rail car. You can only assume that they will be attempting to climb up at you once again.
I would like to ready my action, maybe.
And you're waiting to strike if something comes in range?
Absolutely. I want to keep my attention on those three to see if they come up the ladder, and I just want to have my axe just ready to baseball the frick out of their heads.
All right. A point of note that maybe our viewers have not been made aware of. When they are struck in the head, they seem to go inert, at least for a decent amount of time. You did notice that one of them dragged itself away. You can only assume from the evidence in the snow last night. But as of right now, the one that was hit in the head is inert and lying there. And so Ada prepares herself. Roland Hussey,
Yes, sir.
it is your turn.
All right. How close is the closest one to me?
There are three on the ground. You're on the roof, about 9 feet up, about 10 feet with the wheels, and then down on the ground are three that are sprawling and are attempting to get to their feet and climb up the ladder, and one is inert, the one who has been struck in the head.
All right. I'll take aim at the next one,
Mm-hmm.
next closest one to me,
Mm-hmm.
and I go for a headshot. So.
Are you taking the time to aim and going to wait a turn to aim?
Yes,
Or
sir. I am taking the time to aim.
Very well, good.
Thank you.
The three of them manage to get onto their stagger onto their feet, and one starts climbing up the ladder. Ada, one's head and arm come up over the side. So, if you would roll your attack.
All right.
Keep in mind, we do have helps.
Can we get a help count, please?
I most certainly can. There, Sir David Percival. Thank you.
All right. I'm gonna. How many die am I rolling?
I think we determined you could roll 3.
3. Okay. I'm not gonna use a help on this one.
Not going to use the help. Very well.
That is respectable. 12.
You knock him off, but not in the head, and down he goes.
All right.
But he does tumble back down, sprawling into the one that was coming up behind him. So 2 of them are now down on the ground. At the other end, the other 4, 2 of them attempt to get in the space in between the cars, which is where Henry was yelling from. Were you not?
Yes, I'm in car number 7.
That's right.
And they're go ahead.
They were in between. There was some gunfire coming out the back of that door. One of the other passengers was shooting out that door. And 2 of them turn around and charge at you, sir.
Ah. Are they? I assume they're fast.
They're normal human speed. They're not
Okay.
superhuman, but they are not slow and shuffling either.
All right.
They move at the speed of a regular human being. You are a former army chaplain. I'll give you 3 dice
Oh, I
to
won't.
defend against their attack.
Yeah, I'd love to get some furniture between me and them.
One is lunging at you. The front one.
Oh, I don't think a 6 is going to help me too much.
No, not at all. It bears you to the ground.
Okay.
And falls bodily atop you, causing you 2 points of damage in the process.
Okay. Ow. Dislike.
Very well. And with that, it is your turn.
I'm hoping there's an oil lamp or something hanging in here, some sort of light.
Well, you were
source.
on the ground, on the floor.
I will struggle to my feet and fumble around for some sort of oil lamp. I would like to start a fire in this car.
Very well. If you would please give me you can roll 3 dice to get out from underneath it. Keep in mind you have helps.
I do. I think just the one at the moment, but I'll use it.
Very well.
All right. Excellent. A 17.
You
Oh no! Wait.
managed
I'm sorry. That is incorrect. I counted all 4. I just got to count the highest 3. But that is still a 15.
You managed to scramble to your feet and dash to the back of the car and snatch an oil lamp off the wall? And are you just smashing it to the ground?
Yes.
Poof. And so it does.
Okay.
This lamp was not lit, but
Oh.
now there is oil all
Okay.
over the ground,
All right.
which I assume is probably just as good.
I mean, no, but it's a start.
Very well. Jackson Weatherwax, you have been taking your time aiming.
I have aimed. I've seen the foulness that I am aiming, at which I am aimed. I've aimed. I've had a long day. It was something that I had previously shot before. And
Very well.
its head seems to have repaired itself. Well, second time's the charm. I'll be firing.
All right, for the aim, give yourself an automatic help from the aim.
All right, so I'm rolling 4 and taking
Yes.
just 3.
Yes, and I believe you still have a help. You can use one of the helps from our friends on Twitch if you want.
Not at this time.
All right, so roll 4, take the highest 3.
14.
You strike it in the noggin, and down it goes. A black blood flies out the back of its head, and it slumps onto the ground, sprawling on top of the other one that had likewise been incapacitated. And with that, it is Roland. You have a nice shot lined up.
Very good. I'm going to I've taken my aim and I pull my trigger, sir.
All right. Normally you would roll 4 dice, roll 5 for an automatic help, and take the highest 4. And you also have 2 other helps if you want them.
Oh, very good. I'm just gonna roll the help with the other die, and that gives me a 5, 8, 13, 19.
You strike another one in the skull. A large chunk off the left-hand side comes flying free, lands on the ground. You can see what looks like rotted, almost like black maggots where its brains should be. Just decayed flesh inside as it slumps to the ground as well, leaving
that's
only
not
one left on your rail car. And I am terribly sorry. I skipped Ada. Go ahead, Ada.
All right, so the 2 of them are down there.
There are 3 now
3.
with headshots incapacitated on the ground, and only one attempting to climb back up.
I'm gonna whack it.
Very well.
Like that woman.
We
10?
weave a rich tapestry.
You swing down and you miss, and your axe thuds into the side of the rail car. You do manage to keep a hold of it, but its head is now embedded in the side of the car, and it will take a moment to pull it free. At which point, it reaches up and grabs at your arm. Roll me 3d6 if you would, please.
I'm a help.
And I'm going to use a help as well.
Oh,
Fine.
Oh, dastardly.
Ha ha ha. I'm using 3.
3. Roll 4. Take the highest 3.
Okay. 17. Wait.
You managed to pull your arm back just in time, leaving the axe embedded in the side, but avoiding its grasp.
I'm sorry, 16.
oh, look at that!
Oh, it grabs your arm and pulls you bodily off of the roof, and you will take 2 points of damage as you fall to the ground.
Sugar.
Meanwhile, the one that Henry had managed to get away from gets back up on its feet, but in the process, the other one lunges past and attempts to grab at your throat, Henry. So roll me 3d6 once again.
11.
11. Its claw rakes across your cheek for just 1 point of damage as it just barely made contact with you. At the other end, the two there, and gentlemen, another gunshot resounds out the back of car number 5 toward the two ghouls that are trying to claw their way in through that back door. One of the guests, one of the other passengers, is shooting back out of it. The bullet strikes one of the ghastly ghouls, but not in the head, unfortunately. And with that, it is Jackson. No, it is Henry's turn. I'm sorry.
Remind me, did they break the doors when they went car to car, or did they just open them?
You had not barricaded the other cars because they were not occupied. This one had been barricaded at one point, but they did rip it apart. It looks like it took a little bit of effort.
So I can't go out the back of this car and close the door.
Oh, you can. You just cannot close the door behind you.
That's okay. I can't close the door behind me. Is what I want to know. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna keep going back. I'm gonna go back another car. Now I'm looking for a fire source.
I believe the next car back is the dining car.
Good. Is there something on fire in there?
There is the stove in there. There might be some coals still going.
Might be some coals going. All right.
What a time to have baked Alaska.
Yes, perfect. I would like to prepare a fondue.
Very well. It collapses like a flan in the cupboard.
And what would it take to decouple a car? To decouple a train?
A bit of time. There are a number of bolts, and you are unfamiliar with its workings. You could probably do it, but it's going to take you a little while.
Yeah. All right. I'll go to the dining car.
All right. You go to the dining car, and sure enough, there are still some smoldering coals in the stove.
Okay. Can I grab a plate and scoop some up?
You most certainly may. And I will say that you grab a little cast iron skillet and manage to scoop out some of the hot coals.
Okay.
And with that, that is your turn. Jackson Weatherwax.
I would like to look for another one of these damnable creatures. Probably the next one down. The
one just pulled Ada off of the roof. The other 3 are incapacitated, but there is one more at her train car and has just pulled her to the ground.
Oh, hell. Never been much for leaping from heights, but here we go. I attempt to jump down and jump down on the one that has attacked her.
Very well. You run and you jump. You leap. Roll 3d6 if you would, sir. But feel free to use that one last help.
Yes. Before I roll anything, I will be using a help.
Very well.
That is a 12.
It is a 12. You land on it and knock it over, but also tumble to the ground as well and take a point of damage in the process. It broke some of your fall, but not all of it.
Thank you.
Very well. Ada, you are on the ground sprawled. The creature is now sprawled next to you. Your axe is in the side of the rail car.
I'm going to get up and grab that axe.
Very well. You jump to your feet, manage to wrench the axe out of the side of the railway car. Roland.
All right, how far? So Ada is not next to the ghoul.
No,
but
she's not.
But now Jackson is.
Yeah, but they are both prone upon the ground.
Oh, damn fool. I'm going to take aim again at the remaining ghoul.
All right. You are taking. You're going to spend your turn taking the aim.
I'm not going to spend the turn taking the aim. I'm going to take a help this time.
All right.
So I'm going to aim at it and just go.
Very well.
So I'm going to roll 5 on this one.
Roll 5, hit the highest score.
18.
A bullet thuds in through its right eye socket, and the thing goes inert on the ground.
You're welcome, Jackson.
Ow!
You hear a crunching sound from the back door of the rail car you're on top of, Roland. It seems that these creatures are prying open the back door, or at least some of them are, of rail car number 5. That they may not have made it in there yet. You do not know. But then you do hear a gunshot out of there.
Oh, my.
And Jackson Weatherwax, from laying on the ground where you are, you're looking down the line of the train, and you see one of the creatures fall out from between the cars with a smoking hole where its mouth should be. And it falls to the ground. But seeing the passengers are not totally inept. Henry, let's see what happens with you. One attempt to jump across at you. Give me a defensive roll.
Gonna use that help that I have. Yes, using the help, trying to protect. Obviously, try to avoid the impact and protect the skillet full of hot coals, a la a lacrosse stick. And that's the garbagest roll that ever garbaged. An 8.
It collides with you bodily, driving you to the ground once again. Take 2 more points of damage, and the skillet clatters out on the floor, the coals spilling out on the wooden carpeted floor.
Okay.
It is now your turn. What would you like to do?
Brain him with the frying pan.
Very well. Brain away, sir.
I don't know. How many dice do you think that would be? Probably just 2?
I'll give you 3. Haven't been in the army. Got a little bit of strength to you.
I'll take it. All right. A thoroughly average 11.
That is enough. You hit him in the side of the head, and he goes tumbling off you.
Great. And then
it is still moving, but it is no longer on top of you.
Okay.
And you can clamber to your feet.
I do so.
Very well. That is Henry. Jackson.
I get to my feet. I help Ida to her feet, and
Ida's already standing.
Oh, you're welcome. What's the closest entry point back into the train to where I am?
There's a door right next to you, in between cars 4 and 5.
This
ghoul,
was
however,
the one...
just fell out from between cars 5 and 6.
This was the one that was opened, and I had shut the door to the car that I was in and climbed up.
Correct.
I go in to that door, not the door that I closed, but into the train.
Very well. Well, back in the car, sir. And Ada.
The closest ghoul to me is the one that's popping out of car 5 or car 6.
One is clearly been hit in the head. You know that there's at least one more back there, and several have gone back toward Henry back in car 7.
I'm just going to run back there.
As you run along the snow, you look off to your left as you're running past, and in between cars 5 and 6, you can see that there is a ghoul, one of these ghouls left in between. The door is partially pried open. It is reaching inside, and you can see the barrel of a shotgun being thrust out at it.
I'm going to let that one be.
As you continue down, you can see that there is, in fact, a ghoulish creature in car number 6 looking back at car number 7, and there's a creature in car number 7. Also, Henry Alverton is in car number 7, holding a frying pan.
Is it possible for me to get up onto the train car in between 6 and 7?
That's right where there is a ghoul attempting to get into car. I'm sorry. There is one in car 6 looking to jump back at car 7 at that very point.
I would like to ready my action in between cars 6 and 7.
Very well. Roland.
All right. So basically, if I go to the back of my car and shoot straight down, I'll be able to get that ghoul potentially.
All the ghouls around you are.
Oh no, the one who's trying to get in with that.
Oh, you're gonna run to the back of the car and shoot down?
Yeah.
Yes, you can do that.
All right, I'm gonna do that.
All right.
Uh, 15.
You shoot it right through the crown of its head.
Oh, nice.
Lumps to the ground.
I hope the shotgun that was coming out also blows off its head at the same time, because cinematically that would just be beautiful.
Well, the shotgun does go off. Ineffectually.
All right. That's a shame.
You are lunged at once again, Henry, by the same creature again.
Okay. Nine.
It is enough to manage to spin yourself. It rolled an 8. It spin out of its way, out of its potential grasp, and further back down. You basically are almost out of car 7 into car 8 at this point. Ada, one of these ghouls attempts to jump from car 6 to 7, where Henry is, right past you. So I assume you're going to attempt to strike it.
Yes, please. And I'm going to take a help.
Very well. $15. As it leaps from car to car, you time it just perfectly. And the blade of your axe hits it somewhere right around its voice box, and the head comes clean away. The body falls to the ground. The head bounces off of the side of car 7 and rolls to a stop in the snow.
That's beautiful.
Roland.
All right. I have a dead ghoul below me, and the car behind me is now the next car was totally open at this point, right?
Right.
All right. I just get down and run through. Like, why have a more difficult time?
All right. Roll me 3d6
All right.
to hurry your way on down.
All right. Oh, very nice. 14.
14. Yeah, you managed to nimbly make your way through. You almost slip at one point. You managed to grab above and slide down, swing yourself into car 6, and are halfway into car 6 already.
I did serve in the Navy.
You did. It was like moving on in the gangway in an ironclad. The creature once again. Oh wait. No, it is its turn. Henry, can you roll me some defensiveness, please?
Oh,
7.
No. Oh no.
I go ahead.
I believe I missed your action.
I believe so too.
All right. What did you want to do for your action? We're going to let his rolls and your roll for that stand, but maybe things will change depending on what you did in your turn.
All right.
Forge a suit of armor.
Yes, I produce a thermonuclear grenade.
You have the Omega 13.
Yeah. Since I couldn't bring the coals to the oil that I spilled earlier, I'm going to see if I can bring the oil to the coals.
There is a lamp next to you.
I grab it and smash it on the ground where the coals spilled out of my frying pan.
Very well. Roll me 3d6. You can use the help if you want.
An 11.
It
Right in the
instantly ignites, and the flames spread almost immediately, engulfing the thing that falls on you and knocks you to the ground whilst on fire, doing 4 more points of damage to you, and you're pinned underneath its now flaming bulk.
I don't see any problem with this.
All right.
Oh, no, wait. I see nothing but problems with this, is what I meant to say.
And because of the turn order and me missing you before, it is now your turn again. Henry, it is your turn again.
I'm so sorry.
Because I had missed your previous turn.
Yeah, I want to kick this guy off of me and get out of this car.
Very well. Go ahead and roll, if you will. 3
Now, I will say that that's not always the prudent point. Had my parents done that same move, I wouldn't be here.
You're not wrong.
Noted.
Your father was on fire too, Jackson?
In a manner of speaking, Steely Dan does strange things to a man.
I'm using a help, by the way.
Very well.
Steve-O, not the character.
And I
Steely Dan.
cannot seem to get higher than 11, but that's
Steely
right.
Dan is what Henry named his
for you to
frying pan.
roll out near him. You flop out the back. You hit your head on the rail a little bit, take another point of damage as you go out into the snow. But you are out of that rail car, which is rapidly catching on fire. Jackson Weatherwax, you are inside the rail car. All of this is oblivious to you. You have no idea that one of the rail cars is now on fire.
No, but we have been running at a somewhat fevered pace. Was this car didn't this car have people in it?
Yes, the one you are in now does.
I'm going to start checking on folks to see if they are injured, if they are, what condition they are in.
I will summarize going through the car very quickly. It seems that everyone in here in this rail car is safe and unharmed.
Very good.
They were about to make the creatures were about to make their way into the back, but a combination of Roland and the shotgun wielding passenger managed to prevent that.
I calmly but firmly. I try to reassure those that I can. So, yes.
All right. With that, it is Ada's turn. Ada, you notice that the car that is to your immediate right, the one that Henry was just in, and that there is still a figure moving around inside, is now ablaze.
How ablaze?
I'm trying to think what your character would have noticed.
Like this many?
It is.
On a scale of 1 to towering, how inferno?
Are the flames on the side of her face?
They are not that big. It is the size of a decent sized campfire already, though.
All right, I would like to jump in. And is there a blanket or a coat or something that I could try and smother it with?
You jump into the car and you see a figure stand up ablaze and turn, and its eyes lock on you. Very well. Roland.
All right.
You see Ada go into the now burning train car behind the car you just swung down into.
Oh, well, that's not good. I suppose I have to run in there behind her. TPK, everybody. All right. I get in. I'm assuming into the next train car.
You can do that without much difficulty.
All right. I'm in there. I see her all ready to go. Honus Wagner over here, and that's still in the future though. That's fine. And I see Mr. Flamey. I see the Human Torch over there. So I'm just gonna shoot.
Very well. Go ahead.
All right. I'm gonna use a help actually before I roll these dice.
That's probably not a bad idea.
Not at all. $16.
16. You shoot it, and it falls backwards into the flames. You're not sure where you hit it, but it falls backwards into the flames. It doesn't appear to be moving, although the flames are spreading very, very rapidly. Henry, you're on the ground next to a flaming railway car.
All right. And I guess I'm going to run outside and alongside of it back towards the front.
Very well. As you do, you see several bodies of these ghastly creatures sprawled out in the snow.
Alongside of the train? Yeah.
At various points, as I have described, where they have fallen.
How close are they to the front? So I went out the back of this car, and I'm now running back towards the front of this car. How close are they to the front of the car?
There is a head and a torso which are separated from each other, lying between cars 6 and 7.
I will pick up the head and chuck it into the burning car.
Very well. You throw the head into the burning car and continue running.
Where did that come from?
Yeah, actually, interesting note. Roland Hussey is standing right there. Roland, something thumps into your back. It is a severed head.
Oh, that looks familiar.
Jackson Weatherwax, you've gone all the way through the car number 5, and are back at the back where there's a gentleman who is reloading his double-barrel shotgun.
As he's reloading, I do the safety knock that we had established to go from train to train. Right?
The safety knock that no one ever mentioned before this very moment.
Well, okay.
Yes.
It's
The safe word is banana.
it's Jackson Weatherwax. How is everyone all right in there?
I believe so. Yes.
All right, open the door. I'm coming through.
They open the door because these creatures have never spoken. You are now in car number 5, which was the site of all the defensiveness.
Yes, and I'm making my way through the cars now.
Very well. Ada, the creature has fallen back into the now rather burning car.
Uh-huh.
It's rather burning a lot.
Is it still smotherable?
Maybe if you could cause an avalanche.
Fantastic. The Bernie one?
That you're in currently, yes.
Well, no, the Bernie ghoul.
It has fallen back into the flames. You do not know where it is.
Okay.
Once again, I am on fire. Sorry.
I kind of want to double tap, but I also don't know where he is.
No, you do not.
So
there's a 7 ghoul head at your feet.
I'm gonna kick that into the fire.
Very well. You kick it in the fire. Pele would be proud. Bicycle kick it. There's not enough room.
Absolutely.
Football is life.
Football is life.
But sometimes it's also death.
And unlife, indeed.
Football is anti-life.
All right, you kick the head into the fire, and you're still standing inside a burning train car.
I think it's time to maybe tell somebody who knows how to undo this whole thing.
And so what are you
I'm getting out. Bye.
Very good. Are you going into car 6 or are you getting off the train completely?
I'm going into car 6.
All right. You push your way past Roland into car 6. Roland, she goes past you into car 6.
All right, bye. For the sake of argument, did you tell me your intentions that you're going to find somebody who can uncouple this?
She did not.
I didn't.
Right. Where are you
said
going?
it in my brain.
All right, you said it in your brain thoughts. All right. I'm just going to start trying to uncouple these cars.
All right.
Right away.
As was just pointed out, I did want to remind people, the train's not moving, so coupling a car doesn't do a ton, but we can maybe push a little.
But maybe, like, are we on any sort of an incline at all, by the way?
That is a fine question. I'll give you.
We're going up a mountain.
You're going through a pass, actually.
But still.
And I don't feel like pulling up a topographical map of Donna.
We did say that we were looking down at a lake.
There's a lake up ahead. Yes. That would actually be incredibly bad for you if you were actually going downhill, because these are the back cars would be pushing into the car. You're hoping that it goes the other way. I will say it's relatively level right here.
All right. So if we detach maybe not 7 from 6 but 6 from 5, and that way we can have some intermediary spot, so that if we do as the fine people below just suggested and have a bunch of us start pushing on it, the non-flamey car, that might be a good idea. So I'm going to start uncoupling car 6 from 5.
All right, you run up and start trying to uncouple 6 from 5. You are met by Samuel Thompson, the conductor.
Yeah.
And there are a total of 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are a total of 4, 5, 6 cars and the caboose. 6 cars, a baggage car, so 7 cars and a caboose behind this coupling point between 5 and 6.
All right.
And Samuel Thompson, the conductor, is there. What can I do? What's there's a fire.
Yeah, we set apparently car 7 on fire. I was thinking if we maybe separate car 6 from 5 right here, we have a little bit of breathing room.
Yes, of course. We could do that. Yes. Here, you see that boat there? Pull that one up. Pull it up. I'm going to go get the engineer to back us up. That'll push the back cars and get them moving away from us.
All right, I like this, man.
After a few minutes of all of this manipulating, the porters come out and help as well, and you manage to get car 5 and 6 separated from each other. And you manage to he then backs up you get him uncoupled. He backs up the train car and bumps with just a little bit of effort into the coupling, which sends cars 6 all the way down to the caboose, away from you slightly. There's still snow on the track, so they don't go very far, but it does give about a 20 feet of separation.
So while this was happening, while they were getting ready, all this ready, I would love to collect whatever bodies aren't in the flaming car and put them in the flaming car.
Are you going to express this to the other people as well?
Maybe, I don't know.
I assume
Jack,
I would have seen this out of the window.
I don't say it out loud, but I just start doing it.
Jackson and Ada, you do see this happening.
I'm gonna help.
All right.
Once again, I'm out of the train.
Very well. And you manage to take the inert bodies and throw them into the burning car.
Mm-hmm.
The stench is atrocious. Car 6 catches a light.
Uh-oh.
For some reason, there was some spilled oil in car 6.
It happens. It could. I mean, clearly the creatures did that.
Who among us hasn't?
This was the dining car. There's oil everywhere.
Yeah. Who among us hasn't
The fish was
accidentally
greasy.
started a train fire?
Very.
Could have been anyone.
Raise your hand if you have never started a train fire accidentally or on purpose while fighting ghouls in the Donner Pass. Anybody? I know I did it at least twice.
It happens.
Happens.
Yeah.
All right.
Be quiet, Carrot Chapel.
Ew.
How do we ban someone from this?
The corpses are all thrown into the burning car. Cars 6 and 7 burn through the night, down to nothing. Luckily, cars 8 and further do not catch fire, but there are 2 burned out husks of cars in the morning between you and the rest of the train, although you are no longer attached to it.
I'd like to, in the morning, go look and see
Same.
if the bodies reconstituted themselves.
Same.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me some perception type roll to take a look, sift through the still warm ashes.
I will join them as well.
13.
13.
15.
14.
You do find some bones in the ashes. You do find some bones. but not enough bones for 8. You find going through. You find a skull and maybe the body of one.
So the one that was beheaded.
Wait.
Start searching the ground around for tracks away from the burning cars.
With your rolls, there are in fact ash-covered tracks that crawling through off and to the north and east, the same direction as before.
Well, beheading seems to work.
Yeah. Maybe when we shoot him, after we shoot him in the head, we Louisville slugger them.
So we gotta burn them. We gotta chop the heads off, or we gotta shoot them.
In kind of like that reverse order. Yeah. Wait, your accent changed?
Don't worry about it. Who's hungry?
I could use a big breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, the dining car has gone up in flames.
And whose fault is that?
Those
Henry.
dastardly ghouls.
Well, am I the only one who wants to kind of take the fight to them?
You are not the only one. I want to end this threat.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
We dispatched what? Does anybody know exactly how many there were? I know I took out 2.
I as well took out 2.
But they all seem to have recovered, except for the one that we
6.
beheaded.
Well, no, wait. Oh, right. All right.
Doing a little bit of consulting with each other, you determine that 8 ghouls attacked the train car. You have the remains of one that are still here. The others have managed to drag their way away yet again.
Okay. We're going to get guns, bullets, kerosene, flint and steel. I have my axe.
We all have axes, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think the key is to drop them however we can drop them and then sever the head from the body.
And then burn them.
I'm not entirely sure the fire is necessary.
It's not necessary.
It's
Who doesn't
also
like
cold.
a nice camp?
So, having said, like, we after murdering the undead, we might be a bit chilly. So perhaps we might as well start a fire.
Also, I
God.
feel like going in the daytime is
Safer.
key. Yeah. They only attack at night.
Yeah, maybe they have a
I'm
find out where they rest.
I'm in complete agreement with you.
We've also most of us have gotten quite a bit of rest. They are still mending of some kind. I say we start off as soon as possible, following the tracks that they have cut in for us, maybe making it a little bit easier to follow as well.
Agreed.
Should we get some more people? There was that one guy with a shotgun.
Absolutely.
No one seems terribly interested in departing. They feel like
blame them.
They wish you good luck, but they are going to barricade the doors as you leave.
Well, at least let me wear a nice coat.
I don't blame them. Mr. Weatherwax, are you feeling all right? You seem ready to leave the train for a bit. You've been reluctant before this.
I've seen things in the last 48 hours that even the most penny dreadful dreck I could not have imagined. The sooner this is ending, the better for me.
Before we go, I want to go check on that patient who was bitten.
Indeed, the doctor is still looking after him. He is resting. His breathing is shallow but steady.
Is there any improvement, doctor?
Well, he seems to be not declining.
Okay.
He's not necessarily getting any better, but it doesn't seem to be getting any worse.
All right. Okay. Doctor, it's just a hunch. Because the actor playing this character has lived through zombie movies. But if he starts getting bitey, cut off his head.
I say that's rather gruesome.
After what we've been through the last 2 days, sir, I think it's necessary.
As I do no harm. I took an oath.
Do no harm to the rest of the people on this train, sir, and you're going to have a lot fewer patients.
Yeah, you go do what you need to do, and I'll do what I need to do.
All right.
With
Welcome here,
having I don't know, privy to that conversation, I'm going to go to the caboose to see where the bodies of the previous victims have been kept. See what condition they are in.
They appear undisturbed.
Unmoved as well?
Indeed, still wrapped up in the tarpaulin. And poor Frederick Ames is still in his box.
I'm going to open the box.
Don't open the box.
You pry open the box. There's sawdust packed in there, and the body now putrefying of, but slowly as it is cold, of Frederick Ames.
I take an axe and remove his head.
Very well. With a sickening crunch, the head separates from the torso. It lies there, coagulated blood pooling in the sawdust.
Are there any rings?
Yes.
No, they're not.
Very well. Tell you what, give me a roll of 3d6. And everybody else give me a roll of 3d6 to see if anybody has noticed that Jackson has shuffled off to do this.
11.
Nope.
10.
11.
I know
15.
nothing.
Jackson, you went to relieve yourself along the side of the train, as far as anybody knows, and you have returned. Very well.
And I let them know that I've taken off the head of the late Mr. Ames.
I feel like I'm not an expert on the occult by any stretch of the imagination, but I feel like the creatures, these things are not, they're cursed. And the reason they're cursed is because they fed on the flesh of a dead human.
So they're not going to turn anyone else.
No, unless we, someone here, eats the flesh of a dead human. I think
Then
I don't think they're going to make more.
Then we best get back because we have just run out of food.
Correct.
Let's go.
So you're following the trail through the snow?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It goes in a similar path as before through the forest. Um, the snow has all but ceased at this point, just little flurries here and there now. Um, and eventually it does go back to that trail that I mentioned last session that you discovered that they merge into. And the trail continues on. You follow it for some length of time. And eventually you come to what appears to be a creek, now frozen over. But you would guess by looking at the track that this path, this trail, would normally go over to the creek and over to the other side. But you see that the path that the creatures have taken veers off and looks like it goes upstream at this point. It goes up for about maybe 50 yards, and then the creek splits to a northern and a southern one. The path continues along the southern one. You want to continue following?
Mm-hmm.
Very well. You eventually get to a little bend, and you can see that there are some trees that normally would be in this area, but they have been felled, but a long time ago. And there are some logs gathered up and spread about. You can go ahead and give me a little bit of a perception roll, everybody.
18.
12.
11.
This appears to be an old encampment of some kind. It looks like it's makeshift. It's some old tanned animal hides, where maybe a roof, but now it's kind of rotted away. It's been out here for several decades at this point, you would gather. The tracks lead into it, and then off slightly into a clump of rocks with a hollow underneath that you can see up ahead. Almost like a little cave that goes down.
I will approach carefully.
I will approach silently.
Very well, Anna, go ahead and approach silently.
Ada, are you a ninja?
No.
Okay.
Definitely not a ninja.
Good enough for me.
12. Triple fours.
You get into the cave mouth, and it looks old, and there's a little bit of a. So it's a small recess. It's probably only about 10 feet by 12 feet, and only about maybe 5-6 feet high at most. It's basically a hollow amongst a bunch of boulders down underneath that have been excavated out. It is very dark down here. At this point, by the time you got here, it's the afternoon, and the opening faces to the east, so there is no light coming in here.
I would like to make a torch, please, or a lantern. Did we?
You had extra lanterns. I would assume that you would take some with you.
Foop. That's the sound it makes when you light it.
Yes, and also the sound that means that there is no more possibility of concealment. But all right. The light blazes in the darkness. Ada's in the front. Henry's right behind her, and then Jackson and Roland are very close behind them. You illuminate this bare earthen floor. You can see what looks like an old ring of stones in the middle. That looks like it might have once been a campfire or something, but not recently. It's a long time ago. And in the corner is a jumbled pile of what looks to be human bones.
Ew. Well, are they dry? Or are they like decomposing?
Are you going to get close and look?
I
You're
will.
about 10 feet away from
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I will approach carefully.
Yeah.
Roland, Jackson, what are you going to do?
I'm watching the exits, watching the entrances. My pistol is ready and out in case of any surprises.
I'm going in and looking at those bones, seeing if I can. Are they newer? Are they fresher? Or are they younger? I mean, are they older? I mean,
Well, as you were a former corpsman, Roland, why don't you give me your medical roll?
All right.
And you can give me your chaplain roll as well, Henry.
All right.
You're experienced in these sort of things.
I would imagine larceny is not useful here.
18 for me.
Yeah, just a 13 for me.
Um,
Rolling terrible tonight.
Henry, these look old, but Roland, you determine that these are quite old. At least 40 years old. They are dry, and as you look at them, you can see that there are teeth marks on them.
These deserve a burial.
Was there a continuing trail out of this place, or?
No, there was not.
Okie dokie.
So they're in here. Let's light the rest of our lanterns.
I would just, again, also not knowing much about the occult, would it be odd if we were to separate the skulls from the rest of the bodies? Is that just me? Anyone else?
Do we think these are the creatures that assaulted us?
Look.
I don't think so.
I'm not taking no chances.
I don't think so either.
Fair, but these ones have been bitten. They've been nommed on. I mean, like, these were the original victims.
I agree.
All right, fine. Okay.
Should bury them later. But let's get to our purpose, friends, and go say goodbye to the rest of the Donner Party.
Yes, let's find them.
All right, let's go.
You're in a small cave. It's 10 foot by 12 foot.
So
there is no other egress.
And this is where the tracks led into this?
It does indeed.
Can we look
I want
around?
to take the butt of my axe and poke the middle of the fire pit thing. Circle thing.
It's an old charcoal underneath there.
Poke. Okay.
Since there seems to be no way out of here, sorting through the pile of bones, can I identify how many people are here in this pile? Skulls would be an easy way to count, but if
there are
skulls,
7 skulls here.
These are our assaulters. These are our belligerents. Do we have something to put the skulls in?
No. You do have a bunch of kerosene.
We could smash them all and then set them on fire.
Roland, you suggested giving them a burial. I think that might be a good idea too.
All right. Away from the rest of their bodies, but yeah.
Yes. Let's take.
You're the chaplain. Let's get digging.
Yeah. I was hoping not to have to do this again, but here we are. Should we? Yeah. Do we want to bury them, or do we want a funeral pyre?
I think a funeral. I think giving them a bit of a Viking funeral might be fitting, especially if we say some words over them.
We also did try to set fire to them before, and it didn't really do much.
Real quick question. How hot does the fire have to be for it to disintegrate bone?
Very hot.
Do we have enough kindling? Can we make a fire that big? Even with the
Probably not.
kerosene?
Probably not. All right.
Jackson, give me a. You're used to building and that sort of thing, so I'm gonna let you roll 3d6.
I'm going to use a help.
All right.
Yeah, if you want to burn a body, particularly the bones, it does have to be exceptionally hot.
Yeah.
11.
And we're not going to get that with a wood fire.
You have no idea.
I would suggest, again, separating the skulls from there, and then maybe just a burial and a blessing, like an actual blessing.
All right. Padre, you're our man. Do we have a... I guess we could just use a axes for digging. I'm assuming we didn't bring any shovels or...
Actually, yes, you can use the axes for digging. It's a laborious process, and the sun is going down by the time you finish. It is getting very close to dark as you place the last of them into their respective areas. You basically dug a mass grave for the bodies and a mass grave for the heads.
Yeah.
Should we camp here for the night?
No, we're gonna. Yeah, maybe we keep watch here. I would like to cobble together some sort of markers for 7 markers.
All right.
And then
You saying some words over them?
Yeah.
All right. Give me your chaplain roll.
And I'm gonna spend a help. I assume I have a help.
Well.
I think I have a help. I sure do. See if I can. Can you see that?
You're not.
Your first good roll of the night, Henry.
So, taking the highest 4.
I was hoping that it was all ones. And you're like, guys, I was never a chaplain. I was a football coach.
You really had me going there, Henry.
So on 4 dice, the highest 4 dice are all 6s. So
as you
24. I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whosoever liveth,
maybe not that one.
believeth in
Maybe
me
not that
shall
one.
never die.
Maybe that.
Wait,
maybe not.
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Given the recent events, maybe that's not the one you want to. Yeah, the resurrection part. Maybe not.
Is there a part about blessed be he who stays in the ground?
As you finish your rites, the sun dips down behind the mountains, and there is a stirring in the air. There is a moaning sound, a sound of several voices very far away moaning. The light, your lanterns flicker, turn green for a moment, a green flame coming out of your lanterns. There is a smell of like burnt bacon hanging in your nostrils, the greasy feel to the air. And as you finish your rites, a gust of wind swirls in through the open mouth of the cave, swirls around, and that all goes away. And it's just a normal night, and the silence descends upon the camp here at Alder Creek. Donner Camp, and all is quiet and still. You make your way back to the train, and as you approach, it is now truly dark, and you hear a whistle in the distance coming from the west. And within the hour, a rescue train with a big snowplow on the front has come all the way up the Sierra Nevada from San Francisco and liberates what's left of your train. The workers reconnect the cars, make sure they can still move, and you make your way at last to San Francisco. There's a lot of talk and a lot of hustle and bustle when you arrive. There are company men wanting to know what happened. There are police officers wanting to know what happened. You are questioned by various people quite extensively, individually and as a group. But finally, your last meeting with the board of directors of the Transcontinental Railroad, they've run out of questions. They have nothing to charge you with, even though the cars are burned. You do not appear responsible. None of you appear to be responsible for the deaths of the people aboard. How much did you want to tell them of what actually happened?
When we did get back to the train after the vision and what I saw there, I did return the items.
Very well.
I say a lot of words, but I don't say anything at all.
Roland?
There's a lot that happens in the mountains in the winter.
Jackson?
It's mysterious.
Jackson or Henry, do you say anything about what actually happened to anybody?
No, but I do think to myself that after what I've read and what I've experienced, I could write this whole thing down and no one would believe me.
Well, as you come out of the railway offices, step out in the bright light of California. It's a beautiful day. It's a sunny day. It's a little brisk. It's getting into winter now. It's November, but you are along the Pacific Ocean. San Francisco is a booming little town, and all four of you step out onto the street after having just been released for your last group interview with the board, when a stagecoach pulls up directly in front of you. And out of it, very purposefully, steps a man. He's probably about 5'9", maybe 5'10". He's wearing a cowboy hat, but it sits awkwardly on his head. He's wearing a nice vest and shirt, but it just seems somewhat out of place. He's got short hair that's graying at the temples and a little bit of a beard with a little bit of gray shot through. And he steps out and steps over a puddle on the ground and says, if you don't mind, Mr. Roland Hussey, Miss Ada Monahan, Mr. Jackson Weatherwax, Reverend Henry Alberton, please allow me to introduce myself. I am Gordon Pym, and I'd like to have a word with you. And that is where we will end this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you
Hey.
so much for joining us here.
We didn't die.
You didn't die.
No one died. Well, I mean, a lot
What?
of people died, but none of you died.
Color me surprised.
Kelly, you surprised.
That's what happens when you aim.
True.
I was so afraid. I was so afraid that you were going to get shot again.
I was afraid that Henry was going to go up with the zombie, not zombie, but rather the Revenant in the train car. First, I thought they were going to get him, but he always managed to roll just enough to get out.
And then
I
I
thought
had
he was
8
gonna
hit
get pinned.
points left.
Oof.
8 out of 18 hit points left. So
Yeah, I thought you were a goner.
Woo.
I said it at the beginning. I thought we were all gonna die.
Same. I was definitely in the TPK group, but
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us here at Gothic Horror Gaming. I want to go around and introduce our players. So we're going to start with Roland Hussey. You want to tell us who you are?
Hi everyone, I'm Dan Kostelik. I am sometimes your friendly neighborhood Shakespeare at Renaissance festivals near you. I'm currently the entertainment director at the Scarborough Renaissance Festival. We just opened our first weekend, largest opening weekend ever, so that was awesome. But come on down, 7 more weeks to go, so 15 days of fun in beautiful Waxahachie, Texas. And as Handler Z has at the bottom there, my new album is dropping on Shakespeare's birthday, April 23rd. Available for pre-sale right now. Go to shakespeareproofs.bandcamp.com. Lots of silly songs. Great friends like Jim Hancock, Lady Prudence, and Matt Young of Rover's Way are on it. It's a lot of fun. And thanks for having me here.
All right. And we also have Ada Monahan.
hi, my name is Katie Hauser. I am a member of Chase Treasure, and I also have an Instagram called Rune Away with Me Katie. I do personal rune readings. And yeah, you can also find us at chasetreasure.com or on patreon.com/chasetreasure. You have to slash it because we're above PG-13. So yeah, that's what I do.
Are you suggesting you guys do slash fiction?
Absolutely.
Nice.
We also have Jackson Weatherwax with us.
Hello, I'm Steve O'Dockerson. I am also known as Beloved Entertainer, Hob the Troll. You can go to hobthetroll.bandcamp.com and finally listen to a bridge troll sing Wooly Bully. You guys, the classic old... Oh yeah, and 50 million Hob fans can't be found. Look at that. Look at that. Back in baby's arms never sounded so good. If I can take a quick word about Bandcamp, Bandcamp does this really cool thing called Bandcamp Fridays. The first Friday of every month, they waive the fee. So if you have artists that you like, put that on a wish list, and then when it's Bandcamp Friday, purchase it then. All of the proceeds go directly to the artists. Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. We also have with us Reverend Henry Alberton.
hi, folks. I'm real person Ryan Gelotti, and I am one half of the comedy sword fighting show Buckle and Swash. Next performing at the Tennessee Renaissance Festival every weekend in May. So you got about not this coming weekend or the weekend after, but 3 weekends from now, we'll be there through Memorial Day Monday.
Indeed. And I am Glue Master. I am Tom Zadoyko. I am the other half of Buckle and Swash. And indeed, the Tennessee Renaissance Festival, where Buckle and Swash is back there for, oh, geez, we've been there a long time. Anyway, come on out, check us out. A long time. Also, we have Handler Z and I, who's been in the background running everything. We have Quill and Quote on TikTok and Instagram, where I've been reading just inane things, instructions for making muffins and all that, just in creepy, over-the-top, melodramatic voices, as well as some old works of fiction from before 1920. Some of which are surprisingly disturbing. We also have our book, Dare, which is the short stories written by Handler Z, narrated by myself. We already mentioned those. You can find them on You can find them on Audible and on Amazon as print, as Kindle, and as an audiobook narrated by me. Join us on our Patreon, where she writes, I narrate, and you get them before we ever compile them into a book. So check those out. I want to thank our sponsors, as always. I want to thank rentadventures.com. They've got their New Orleans tour coming up. Go to rentadventures.com, sign up for that. Down in New Orleans, December 5th through the 9th, tour during the day, and play D&D 5e at night, culminating in the Louisiana Renaissance Fair on that last weekend. Many of us will be there. I know I will be, as well as Paulo Garbanzo. Also, 3DTU. 3DTU, our good friends over there doing 3D printing and wood burning, dice towers, dice trays, all that sort of thing. And coming up next week, we're not going to be gaming next week, but next week we are going to have Amy from 3DTU. She's about to graduate with her master's in forensic science, and she's going to talk to us a little bit about how it really works, because that often comes up in our games, a little bit of investigative work. So that does come up in there. So please check it out. Next Wednesday from 9 to 11. And then after that, the weekend following, I believe Handler Z will have a new Delta Green game coming up. So please keep in touch with that. You'll find us on all the regulars, on Facebook, on Discord, all of that. So please check that out. And I want to hear from all of you before we sign off now. We ended a little early. It was kind of a good place to wrap it up. So would you like to see these 4 characters again in a different situation, perhaps? If so, throw it in the comments, yay or nay. If you would like to see Roland, Ada, Henry, and Jackson. I've introduced Gordon Pym to the situation. For those of you unaware, Gordon Pym is the head of an organization called SAVE, the Society of the Silver Way, who is they attempt to fight the unknown. They were started in the early 1800s. And basically, they recruit people who have experienced the supernatural to help them deal with other supernatural problems. So many people are very interested in that. I'm going to hold on to this cat in the meantime.
Cat.
I would like to redeem those helps in cash. Just you can buy those. No? Okay.
Oh, goodness.
All right.
Yay!
Well, thank you. I had to put the cat down. So it seems that a lot of people would really like to see these characters again. So we'll see about what we could do. Maybe after Handler Z runs her Delta Green game, maybe we'll see if the 4 of you are available to come on back maybe the end of May and do another run. Maybe our friends in San Francisco have something that occur. So, friends, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
So glad you're here. You're the reason we're doing this. This is awesome. I hope you have a great night, and thank you so much. Oh, I almost forgot. We're having a Ask Me Anything for Nat 21 that I will be on this Friday at 7 p.m. So I think Paulo Grabanzo, myself, and a couple other people are going to be there. So if you have questions about how we put these kind of games together and all that kind of stuff, we're doing an Ask Me Anything session on Friday at 7 p.m. So beyond that, thank you, everyone, and have a great night.
Good night.
Thank you, Sir David Percival, for helping me. Thank you, Sir David Percival.